A very good evening and welcome to Queen's Table. And again, we've got a very special guest this evening. We have the lovely Mrs. Southampton, UK World, Aryana. How are you?
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I am really good, but I did have an exam today, so I'm a bit stressed, but it's all good. It's all good.
Brilliant. Well, all the best of luck, whatever exam that was. It
Thank
gets
you.
busy, doesn't it? I mean, your finals is not long away.
I
And all
know.
of us here at Pageantland are so excited for you. And we're going to be
Oh,
screaming for you on that stage,
thank
definitely.
you so much.
So it's always good to see you. We did a Queen's Table many years ago, didn't we? So it's so lovely to have you back here on Pageantland again with your new journey. So you've chosen to enter Mrs. UK World. Tell me why you decided to choose this pageant.
You know what, when you look at Mrs. Pageantry, there's not loads and loads of options that I think I really, really related to. Yes, I have competed as a Mrs., but I really wanted to go to like the OG of Mrs. Pageantry and be on that Las Vegas stage. If there's a way we can get there, Elvis was on that stage. It stems from Mrs. America, and to have the original 40-year-old Mrs. Pageant, I just think that would be my next step. So I'm really, really grateful to be a part of it, and not long to go.
Yeah, I know it's only a few weeks away. It has crept up, hasn't it? I mean, we were all delighted here when you were announced because you're one of the first ones announced as well. We're keeping an eye on the page because we get all excited to know who is competing. Now, it is really, really exciting. And having a stage like that in Vegas, things like that is legendary, isn't it? And what a
Yes.
great pageant to attend and compete in. It's going to be great. I can't wait to watch it. I think everyone's going to be really excited. So you're doing lots and lots of work leading up to the final. You're always a very busy lady. And you've been doing an amazing thing creating Little Leaders. Can you tell us a little bit
Yes.
about that?
Yes, so I wanted to have an initiative which really kept in like line with what I do anyway. So I do speak in schools anyway, lots about inspiration, different aspirations. I talk to a lot of, say, younger ethnic girls as well through my community station and through other schools. And it's more about being able to look at what you want to do and being able to grab different opportunities and not feeling like you have to be pigeonholed into a certain career. Working in media, I found it really, really difficult because there was a lot of challenges being a Asian female, and they want to pigeonhole you, whether it's into news or certain things. So it was really important for me to push those boundaries and barriers, and also then give a little bit of insight to the younger generation, and show them that you can do lots of things. So as married women, we do a lot of things, and I think it's about how you can have it all. But I think really instilling that into little leaders and creating them from the ground up, I think is really what's truly going to show and put something in them for the future, because they are going to be the leaders of the future. So for me, it was using what I'm already doing, but making an initiative to say we are creating little leaders, and I wanted to do that under the Mrs. UK World brand.
That's absolutely incredible. I love that. That is amazing. I mean, just inspiring little children is wonderful, isn't it? And what a great,
Oh,
great things to do. I think that's wonderful. So you've
yes.
also just made a fabulous appearance on GB News Live. Tell us about that.
Yes. Yes, GB News. They're so lovely as well, because I know that, fingers crossed, if I were to win, they're really supportive of me, and I can't wait to, if I'm able to go back with the crown and title on GB News Live. And they're really, really good at, giving me the platform to be able to voice my opinion on politics as well, which wasn't something that I really wanted to do, but, to be valued and have that opinion. And as a diverse female on the panel, I think was quite important for them. So I really wanted to be able to give my opinions, but you're able to do it in a diplomatic way, because I don't take either side. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I'm not a right or a left. I'm in the middle, and it's to be able to be diplomatic and to voice your opinions, but make sure that you're doing it in a good way. And I think that comes from media training as well. But I'm really, really excited to be able to go back on very soon as well. So fingers crossed, if the stars align, I'll be able to take the title on there. But we'll have to see.
Oh, it's brilliant. No, you're brilliant on there. I've caught bits, and it's been wonderful. But you're such a
Thank
great
you.
talker, and you do everything very diplomatic and very great.
Oh,
You've got a really good way that you talk about discussions and subjects and politics. So, yeah, it's a wonderful thing to watch. So well done, you. So,
thank you.
what other things have you been up to on the lead up to the final?
Well, so I've got two assemblies this week that I'm going in to speak to. I was talking to one of the teachers at a local school, and she said to me, "Would you do year 7 and 8 and year 9 and 10? We'll leave 11 because they're doing their GCSEs, so let's be kind. And we'll go in." And I was thinking, yes, I can do that. But I remember being in school and how assemblies are quite large. I was thinking 2 year groups. I was thinking, okay, but I'm doing that on Wednesday, so we'll see how that goes. And it's all about, taking my initiative into schools, and I've got some little notepads and pens that are with the logo on for creating little leaders, just to inspire them and show them, as I'm from Southampton, representing Southampton, born and bred here, but I started in law. I've now gone back into law. I also work in media. My legal career funds my passion of radio and TV. So I also do content creating and podcasts, and it's really about showing that you can do it all if you're organized, and you can have both sides, and it's really about doing what you want to do, and also talking to them about beauty pageants, because they do love to talk about that as well, and just showcasing how amazing pageantry is and how inspiring we all are as finalists, because we do raise a lot of money for charity in the work that we do on a voluntary basis. So I'm doing that this week. I've got some trademark exams that I'm doing to become a chartered attorney, which is my final kind of bit that I've got to do to become qualified. I'm part qualified at the moment, but because of COVID and things, I kind of left it. So I thought, do you know what? I'll finish this. I'll compete in Mrs. World, and I've got my own other thing that I'm doing as well in pageantry as well. So it's a lot, but I think if you're organized, dedicated, and you know what, you know what it's like, presenting and things like that. It doesn't feel like a job because you love what you do. So it's the same with pageantry. We love what we do, so it doesn't feel like work.
No, it's brilliant, and I admire you for it. You're such an inspiration. Like, you're so busy, but you do so many wonderful things. But it's great to even tell younger children about pageantry and get it out there, because some people have different views on pageantry because they don't have enough information. So it's really good you're getting that out there to families, to children, and things like that. Because it's a wonderful thing, and we all know it's wonderful. It's just getting it out to others that might not know so much about it. So going back to radio, you've done radio for a very long time. So you've done BBC, you've done the local radio station, and you've moved on to Capital now. Is that correct?
I actually do both now. So where I was staff at BBC, you were not really allowed to do other brands. So I went freelance after building up my portfolio of, myself, I guess. And now I've done news for Capital Heart, little few shows here and there. My main thing is still BBC. And I've done a few bits for Channel 4 and then GB News and things like that. So it's about kind of having a rounded kind of outlook. But I still am at my community station, because they were the ones where I started. And I always tell people that, especially the younger lot, when they wanted to get into radio. I started at community, as you're at community as well, and how amazing it is to, they're like a family, and you don't want to leave, and you really want to stay there. And at grassroots level, the stories and the discoveries that you find are so much more authentic, I would say. When you go to mainstream news, it's very different. Mainstream is all very different in the media. So I still love to connect with people on that ground level. So yes, it's great. I love radio. I'm trying to get more into TV. But it's all a journey. And I think that's another thing I always say to the kids, that you have to keep going. You have to create your own content. You get 100 no's to that one yes. And I think when you get older, you're used to that. But when you're younger, it hurts, and it's hard to pick themselves back up. So it's really about just pushing through that and just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah, it's such a good message. Never give up on your dreams. You've got to keep going, haven't you, and keep going again. But I do find with community radio, it's really lovely because people put it on to keep them company as well. There might be people sat there that are your regular listeners, that's their sort of warm voice that they're used to every day, that gives them that company, and they like to listen to in the morning or evening or throughout the day. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do that you're doing, and very exciting that you're doing for so many different things. It's wonderful. We'll see you on the TV screens very soon, no doubt. So preparations for finals. It's April the 4th, the grand final of Mrs. UK World. This is really, really exciting. So how is your prep going for the final, and how are you feeling about the big night?
I'm really, really excited. I think where there hasn't been a final as well, it's almost like we are the new kind of married women that are going to grace that stage. And if you've seen the finalists, everyone is such a fantastic candidate. Like, everyone is so lovely, and we're in a WhatsApp group. Everyone's really supportive and really lovely, so it's really nice. We know some people in there. I've got some friends in there, which is even better, and I can't wait to make new friends as well. Really excited. I think I've got pageant coaching weekly at the moment, just to keep brushed up, and I feel like when I'm preparing for a pageant, I have to be in the zone. I have to be thinking about it all the time. I'm driving and I'm answering questions all the time. You know what it's like with you're doing Galaxy, so it's constant. You're like, oh, if they ask me that, and then you keep repeating yourself, and you know what you stand for, you know what you're doing. And my husband's very supportive, which is, I think he's used to it now, but in the beginning, back in the day, he wasn't. Now he's very used to it.
Yeah, it is funny with husbands, isn't it? They kind of like, it just grows on them. I think it's brilliant.
I think so. Well, obviously, I've met yours as well when obviously we've been away, and it's funny to see their opinions on it, but then they really get into it, don't they?
Yeah. They do get into it. It's really, really nice, and they meet other pageant partners as well, and they get into it, and they got bromances going on with other guys.
That's so true.
But no, it's so brilliant. True. Well, we are all rooting for you here massively at Pageant Land. Thank you so much for coming on and speaking to me at Queen's Table today. And we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honour to be back on Pageant Land, and also good luck for you as well.
Oh, thank you ever so much. Thank you so much for coming on again. Bye-bye.
Bye.